Hello, my learners. How are you all today? I hope you all are fine. So, today we learn the difference between a metaphor and extended metaphor. Let's check out the definition of a metaphor first. A metaphor is a figure of speech that directly compares two different things or unlike things. It suggests that one thing is another, but it states it directly. Even though the two things which it is talking about may not literally be of the same type. What does this mean actually? For example, if a flower is being compared, then probably you will not compare a flower with another flower only of the same type, right? That means two different things are being compared to each other. Let's check an example here. Time is a thief. Now, time and thief are two different things, right? They have no connection with each other. But still, they are compared to each other in a way without the use of the words like or as, because we use like or as in comparison when we are talking about a simile. So remember that. Alright, I think now the meaning of metaphor must be clear to you. So we move on to understanding what an extended metaphor is. An extended metaphor is a metaphor. That means it is one type of metaphor. And let's see, how do we distinguish between a metaphor and an extended metaphor? How do we recognize both of them? So an extended metaphor is a metaphor that continues throughout a series of sentences, paragraphs, or an entire literary work. Literary work would mean any literary text. It could be a play, it could be a novel, right? An extended work of literature is literary work. So, and what is the other speciality of an extended metaphor? It is that it develops a single metaphor in greater depth. It talks about it in greater depth and it elaborates onto the idea, adding layers of meaning to it. To speak of an example here, let's talk about a Shakespearean play. And the name of the play is something which you must have heard about. It is As You Like It. Now, in this play, what happens is there is a monologue of Jack's, right? And he says that all the world is a stage. So, the world is being compared to a stage here. Therefore, the life, that means the life which people live in this world, is compared to a stage, and people are actors on the stage who play many roles. And therefore, the poem which is called The 7 Ages of Man came into being. I hope the extended metaphor is clear to you. Now, since we have checked what is a metaphor and distinguished it from the extended metaphor, let us now understand what is the clear-cut key difference between these two figure of speech, so that we can, once we are learning any literary text, so probably we can distinguish between the two things very easily. So let's check the key differences here and try and understand it. A metaphor, let's say it's a single, direct and quick comparison. That means it is very short and it is very concise. The comparison is very short, quick and concise. And it often might be the comparison might be very direct in just a phrase, or it might be expressed in just one sentence. But with an extended metaphor, things are very different. Like in an extended metaphor, a metaphor is developed over multiple lines or passages. It can also extend to paragraphs, more than one. But why is this being done? To draw out multiple connections and implications between the two subjects of comparison. The purpose of extended metaphor is to add depth and detail to the comparison of the two subjects which we are talking about. Alright, now let's check out some examples. And this time we'll check out an example side by side of a metaphor and an extended metaphor. Alright, so a metaphor, let's take an example and apply it to both. So the example we've taken here is the classroom was a zoo. So if we state it, this is just one sentence and two things are being compared. That means one classroom is being compared to a zoo. And only since it's just one sentence, it is a metaphor. How is it different from a simile? Because there is a comparison, but there is no use of the word like or as to compare two things. Alright, the same example, if we apply to an extended metaphor, see what does it become? It says the classroom was a zoo. That means classroom is being compared to a zoo directly. The children were monkeys swinging from the desks. The teacher was the zookeeper struggling to maintain order, and the noise echoed like animal calls. So let's check out. An entire paragraph is written where the starting sentence says the classroom was a zoo. But if you pay attention, all the other sentences are talking about the same idea. It is elaborating on the same idea, or it is elaborating on the very first sentence of the paragraph. Like the classroom was a zoo. So when it's talking about children were monkeys, it is describing the classroom. When it is talking about teacher was the zookeeper, it is again elaborating as to what is happening inside the classroom. The noise echoed like animal calls. Now again, the noise which was coming from the classroom itself, it can be compared to animal calls. Animal calls mean, where will you find animal calls? You will always find animal calls in a zoo. So you pay attention here that an entire paragraph is talking about the very same idea, where two different things are being compared and ideas are being talked at length. They are being talked in elaboration. A lot of detail is being given as to how two things seem to be the same. And here it is a classroom and a zoo, which are two entirely different things. Let's move on and see some more examples of metaphors. Now, metaphor is a very direct one sentence comparison, quick and concise. Her voice was music to his ears. So, two things here compared are her voice is being compared to music. All the world is a stage means the world is being compared to a stage. The snow was a white blanket. Now here in the third sentence, we are comparing snow and we are calling it a white blanket. Harry has a heart of stone. Now we are talking about the heart of Harry, but we understand that Harry has a very rough and tough heart. He is emotionless nearly, and therefore we compare his heart to be of stone, which does not feel anything. But you see that we have made comparison between two different things in all the four sentences, but we have not used the word like or as. So definitely the comparison is struck here, but it cannot be called a simile, and it is clearly an example of a metaphor. Next, we move on to more clear examples of extended metaphors. The very first example we pick up here is, suppose someone says life is a journey. That means life is being compared to a journey. Let's see how does it become an extended metaphor and how does the idea is elaborated in more than one sentence or in a short paragraph. Life is a journey with many paths. Some are smooth, some are rocky. Now when we say some are smooth and some are rocky, we are talking about the different paths which are in the journey. And each choice leads to a new adventure. That means each choice of this journey will lead to a new adventure. And new adventure of what? New adventure of life. So a clear comparison is being struck between life and journey, and the entire short paragraph here talks about and elaborates and discusses many details about the same idea. Let's pick up another example, and let's say someone says hope is a bird. That means the concept of hope or the idea of hope is being compared to a bird. Actually, in reality, this idea has been derived from a poem named as Hope is a Thing with Feathers. And this poem is written by an American poet, Emily Dickinson. I'm sure you must have heard of her name, right? So the poem name is Hope is the Thing with Feathers. Let's see how hope is being compared to a bird here. It says, the lines of the poem say, hope is the thing with feathers. Who has feathers? Birds have feathers. That perches in the soul. Perches, the word perches here means which is settles on or which settles in the soul. And sings the tune without the words. Sings the tune. Feather, if you have observed, birds chirp, right? And when we say that birds are chirping, we can compare them to be singing, right? They seem to be eliciting a tune. And therefore, we are saying that it is a bird in a way because it sings the tune without the words. Why without the words? Because the hope is inside our soul, right? It's inside our mind. It's inside our heart, right? We usually don't put it in words until and unless we express it. And therefore, it further says, and never stops at all. So, whenever somebody is hopeful, there's no end to it, right? So, it says that hope is being compared here to a bird. And how is the bird being expressed in detail is that it perches in the soul. That means it rests in the soul and sings the tune without the use of words and never stops at all because it continues. It continues. Whenever we are hopeful, we always look forward to the idea in the future. So it goes a long way, where we expect things to get better and better. So it never stops at all. We never stop hoping in life, right? Okay. Now, I think the difference between a metaphor and an extended metaphor must be very clear to you. So, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And just in case you understood the video well, so please subscribe to my channel, and I would love to get your feedback in the form of comments below. So please express your feedback and comment your views here. Thank you so much and have a nice day.